Hello my friends and welcome back to Homewood Spirit. This is your Vladimir speaking. Today we will learn the easy and cheap method how to sharpen a wood carving knife. But first, because this channel is dedicated also a little bit to nature, watch this. I don't know how about you, but I go through this morning madness pretty much every day, and it's not the thing I enjoy to do, honestly. So that's why I come here to the nature to balance this morning craziness. I do some whittling here or carving, or I just chill here and I recharge my batteries. So if it's you and you experience the same mornings like me, just come here and do some whittling, do some carving, or just chill in the mother nature, and I guarantee you will feel instantly better and you will maintain that peace in the mind. Okay, so that was a little bit of nature, and now let's get back to carving. Um, First we will go to the workshop and we will prepare our sharpening stuff, and then we will come back here to sharpen this knife with this cheap and easy sharpening method on that bench over there. We will need 4 plates of MDF, spray adhesive, then ideally wet and dry sandpapers, utility knife, our wood carving knife, pencil, then a little bit of water, our leather strop, and a newspaper. The first thing I do is that I cut out the shape of the MDF plate with the utility knife on the underlay so I don't cut in my workbench. And I shake the spray adhesive according to instructions and spray it on the back of the sandpaper and on the MDF. Gluing the sandpaper on the MDF can be a little bit tricky, so just take it easy. Try to make sure there are no bubbles and cut off the overhanging paper with the utility knife. It's a good idea to write down the number of the grid on the back, and this is it. The first block of 4. When you have them ready, just stack them like that and put some extra weight on top of it. Like in this case, I put some tiles and whatever I found, and of course, extra weight pins. Okay, we are back here getting positive vibe from the nature, and I was here already 1 hour ago. I have carved this little whale. Yeah, it took me about pretty much an hour, and I've done it only with this wood carving knife, and all I used was this strop to maintain my cutting edge. This is Totara timber. It's New Zealand. It's softwood, but it's harder than a basswood, and I use my strop pretty much every 15 minutes. With the basswood, I would do every 20 to 25 minutes stropping. The blade is razor sharp, as you can see. So this is all possible to sharpen it like that with just these sandpapers and the strop. Usually the strop is enough until the point when the knife gets really too dull, or we have there a little nick or even like a bigger dent, and while we carve it leaves just like a little marks. When we want to get rid of them, we need to go to the sandpapers or water stones, but this this topic today is about cheap and easy methods. So these are the sandpapers here. and this is how we do it. I have here the knife, and I have made it already dull on this 600 sandpaper. The best way to test it is to grab a piece of timber and cut on the end grain, because the end grain cut is pretty much the hardest, and we really wanna make sure that we can go through it. Otherwise, the carving can turn up into big suffering like this. This is what we wanna have, and we try to sharpen it right now. So I have here number 220 grit at the moment. These are wet and dry sandpapers, so I use a little bit of water so they don't go off that quickly. And what I do is that I lay the blade flat on the paper like this, and I push like when I want to peel off the sandpaper. Then I flip it over and return back like that. I do it maybe 10 times on each side, and I also try to lay that blade evenly, because I can end up with sharpen the point of the knife, and the rest will be dull, or the middle of the knife can be sharpened and the rest can be dull. So I really try to make sure that it's evenly laying on the sandpaper. Also, don't lift the spine or don't push on it too hard, otherwise you will make it more dull, or you will not do anything if you lift it up too much. Alright, so let's do another maybe 5 strokes on each side, and then we can also test it again on that end grain. Let's see what we have after few strokes like that. Okay, so we get an end grain. No, it's getting a little bit better, but we can still sharpen it a bit more. So again, I just add some water, and again, as you go, you will be more faster as well with it, but at the beginning, just don't push yourself too hard. Just make sure that your strokes are really even and nice like that. Alright, the sandpaper lasts pretty much maybe 3 or 4 times, so it's not forever, but it's still good option to sharpen the knives, or even actually chisels and gouges. Alright, let's test it again. Well, this is getting way better. I can also have a look at it like that on the light, and if I see no line pretty much, usually there's like a really thin line. If there is a thin line, that means it's still not good enough, and I need to do more sharpening. But this looks really good, so I will move to the next grit. So this is gonna be 600 grit. I will fast forward now through the grids, because pretty much I repeat the whole process on each grid. So that'll be 600, then 1200, and the final is 2000, and then I move on the strop. Alright, so there we go. This was the last one, number 2000 grit. And I will move to the strop now. This is a leather strop, and I put polishing compound on it. This one is for gold polishing. I would normally use the green one because it's for metal and stainless steel. So, but this will do. This do the good job still. How does it work? Same. I just lay it flat evenly, but I go the spine direction first. All right. So like that, and then back. I pretty much do maybe 10 times on one side, then I do 10 times to the other side, and I repeat that maybe 3 or 4 times. Maybe after the sharpening with sandpapers, I repeat this maybe 6 times, like 10 strokes on each side. Again, just try to lay it flat. Over the time you will get faster with it as well, so don't worry about that. Just make sure the first ones are really nice and even. Otherwise you can make it dull as well. All right. This looks nice and shiny to me. Let's see what we got now, right? So, that was the end grain. Oh well, it's not too bad. That's pretty good actually. What do you reckon? Yep. I'll be happy with that. Alright, so that's pretty much the whole secret. I hope you have learned something today, and hopefully it will save you a couple dollars or some money. And yeah, so that was the cheap and easy way how to sharpen your knife or chisel or gouge. And I will see you next time.